Alright, it's time to continue with my Savage 110 and 6mm arc. So today we're going to do a 5-shot group with the Hornady Black 105 grain Botel hollow point. We're shooting this again because I've mounted my gun in an MDT XRS chassis. I want to see how it shoots in the chassis. Now what you see there is two pieces of brass. One is the original 6mm arc brass, and one is 6.5 Grendel Brass neck down to 6 arc. So that is going to be the test today. We're going to take the 6.5 Grendel Brass and the 6 arc brass, and we're going to shoot Power Pro 2000 MR at 29.5 grains. This is about 2 or 3 grains below Hornady's max, so we should be okay there. I'm going to use the Winchester No. 41 small rifle primer and an overall length of 2.3 inches. This is about 20 to 30 thousandths off my lands. So what I did to neck this 6.5 Grendel Brass down was basically just lube it up and run it through the 6 arc sizing die and then trim it down. So we didn't neck turn, we didn't anneal, we didn't do anything like that. Just really simple process to see if this is going to work. So it'll be interesting to see how the two loads shoot. Then after the fact, we'll take a look at case capacity and velocity and see how those turned out. So let's get out on the range and let's see how this experiment goes. Alrighty, we're out here on the range. This is my Savage 110 chambered and 6mm arc, 22-inch barrel, 1 7.5 twist. It is mounted in an MDT XRS chassis. Stole this off my other Savage. Because I've got another one coming in the mail, but it won't be here till the weekend. We've got a 6-24 Argos BTR Optic, Labradar getting velocity. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot 5-shot group with the factory ammo, just like we did in the last video. It is a little bit breezy out there. I apologize for the wind noise in the camera. Cold day, about 30 degrees. So we're going to shoot Botel hollow point ammo. I think we're going to do maybe 6 shots. So first shot to kind of get our zero moved around, and then 5 shots after that. And then we're going to shoot the 108 grain eld-m match in our formed 6.5 Grendel Brass, and then in our original 6 arc brass. Gun's cold and the gun's clean. So that's another reason why we might shoot 6 of the Botel hollow point, kind of moving our zero around. We're going to try to use this magazine. I don't know if it's going to work because, again, this is my magazine off my 6.5 Creedmoor. Seems like it's going to work, but I don't know because these rounds are so short. But we're going to find out here what happens. Seems like they fit in the magazine okay. I don't know if they're going to feed, though. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and see if she'll group. I did have to move the scope back. Alright, seems like it fed okay. I did have to move the scope back towards me because we moved chassis. So again, we might have, that first shot may not be where we want it. We may adjust the scope. Alright, so we did end up, that one going a little bit to the left. About a half a mil to the left. So we're going to move over to the right half mil. And we should be pretty close. So we'll go ahead and shoot a 5-shot group. Again, it seems like it's going to feed off this magazine. Looks like our scope adjustment was right. Alright, last one here. Alright, so not as good as the group we shot the other day with the original stock. It looks like 4 out of the 5 really tried to group in there, so this is factory, that was factory ammo, so you never know how consistent it's going to be. Alright, let's check out what our velocity was. The other day we had 27.17, today we had 27.13, and our SD jumped up to 16.4. We had I think 5 point something the other day. So not as consistent today, not as consistent a group, but I'm still happy with that for factory ammo. Alright, so let's move over to the 6.5 Grendel Brass with the 108 ELD Now we chose a pretty light load here, so hopefully we don't destroy any of this new brass we just formed. But guess we'll find out here. And the gun does seem like it's feeding okay off this magazine, which is interesting, because most people say that it does not feed off a 308 magazine. Alright, so these should be about 2,600 feet per second. So let's see. Again, seems like it feeds okay. Let's... hopefully these don't cause any trouble. Alright, 2629. And that piece of Grendel Brass looks fine. Alright, not a bad group there for fire forming. And our brass looks fine. I don't think we're getting any pressure issues or anything like that. No issues from forming it, doesn't appear so. Let's look at our velocity, see how consistent it was. I would guess that it's not real consistent, but it didn't look bad when we were shooting it. Yeah, we were 26-23 average with a 10.8 SD. So better SD with brass that I formed down than with the factory ammo. Alright, let's go ahead and move on over to the same load, but with the 6 arc brass. Group doesn't look too bad either for some light 6 arc loads. Alright, barrel's not real warm. We're going to go ahead and shoot these 5. It does seem like it's feeding surprisingly well off this magazine too. Alright, did get less velocity out of the 6 arc brass, it looks like. Alright, and last shot here. Alright. Not a bad looking start, I don't think. Let's go ahead and take our velocity there. I don't think it was quite as consistent as what we had with the fire forming brass. Alright, so that we were 2603 feet per second average with an 18.2 SD. So let's get over there and let's check out the target. Alright, taking a look at our groups today. Now remember that first shot to the left there, we ended up moving the scope to try to get us closer to 0. The first group was 1.2 inches, 2713 feet per second with a 16.4 SD. So a little bit worse group and a little bit worse average velocity than we saw before we changed the to the MDT chassis. I'm guessing this is just kind of because it's factory ammo though, because those 4 grouped together and then we had that one fly out to the right. That one was also the fastest velocity, so I don't know if that matters. Now moving on to our 6.5 Grendel Brass that we resized, we shot a 0.97 inch group, 26-23 feet per second with a 10.8 SD. So good numbers for brass that we just formed. And moving over to the 6 arc brass, we shot a 1.03 inch group, 2603 feet per second with an 18.2 SD. So interesting, we had better velocity consistency and a better group size with brass that we literally just necked down. Now I went ahead and measured the case capacity of water of both pieces of brass fired, not resized. We had the 6.5 Grendel Brass that was necked down, ended up at about 35.0 grains of water. And the 6mm arc brass, again fired, not resized, ended up about 34.4 grains of water. So a little bit less capacity in the 6 arc brass, which is interesting because we had slower velocity out of the 6 arc brass. So I would have expected this to be the other way. Now I don't know what to think of this, but I'm pretty happy with my 6 arc brass that I made from 6.5 Grendel. We'll probably use the same process to make about 50 rounds to start shooting and doing some load development. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the 6mm arc so far. I sure am enjoying it, and hopefully it continues to shoot pretty good. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to support the channel, the link to the Patreon's in the description down below, and we'll see you next week.